Okay, well look, we might as well get straight into it, and I think everyone else tonight has done a fantastic job talking about real projects, and I guess we're very keen to talk about a real project that we're embarking on with Loy Yang and 2 other large power stations in Australia. The process that we've developed takes CO2 emissions, other emissions, NOx and SOx, at power stations, all other emitters, nickel refineries, cement kilns, etc., puts them into an algae farm. The algae double their mass every 24 to 48 hours. We're able then to derive oil and meal. A third of our algae is a rich oil that can be used as biodiesel production or plastic. There are also other biofuels that it can be used for. The other 2/3 we're able to use the meal, after the crushing process goes on, as a very nutritious source of feed for livestock. It's about 50 to 70% protein. We can also use it as an ideal fertiliser for soils to actually improve the carbon back in soils with plant generation. We've got a very strong focus on actually coming up with a solution for greening up coal-fired power stations, if that's possible. But we believe that up to half of the CO2 emissions at a power station or nickel refinery are actually capture at each site. The first of these projects, as I said, is going in at Loy Yang. When looking at post-carbon capture, we've tried to create a comparison just to give you a feeling for the current CPRS legislation focuses on putting our waste in the ground, digging up more waste and moving forward. When looking at the red elements, they are the capital cost and the energy costs of this process. If we look at half of Loy Yang's output, we've got about $5 billion. Either the state or the company themselves will need to fund that. 1/3 of the energy that's cleaned in this process is actually consumed in the process, and so that would actually mean that they'd have to burn 50% more coal to present the same amount of energy back into the system. And then they get an abatement. Abatement's not capital generating, and just really they're offsetting a future cost. MBD's proposition is to spend private money to actually fund the $1.2 billion. We, in our costs, we use less than 1% of the energy at the power station. We're able to hand back to the power station most of that abatement, and we derive our income from the oil and the meal. So we've got a very profitable position. There's wages and a whole lot of other expenses that need to go on both sides of the ledger, but we don't believe it's feasible to just focus on post-carbon capture and storage. If we look at this solution and apply it across the 76 coal-fired power stations in Australia, we believe that there's a possibility to actually significantly reduce the carbon emissions at power stations, at refineries, and we think it's actually a real project for the future. Thank you.